When you're ready.
Born brains.
Cody? Alrighty, welcome back to the highest quality conversation you are going to hear all day. I'm Shane.
I'm Fit with Fed.
And I'm Be More.
Be More.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? You like that one. Be More.
Be More.
There's so much you could add with that.
Be more grateful.
You guys got to give me a nickname.
What?
The Hoffman.
The Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Yeah, instead of Superman or Spider-Man, it's Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Someone calls me that. Today, we are going through, and we're going to be reacting to some videos. We're starting a new series, me and the gentleman. Notice there is a lot of divide amongst men and women. And, there's podcasts and shows dedicated to kind of pointing fingers at each other. And I myself am even guilty of it.
I got 4 pointing back at me when I'm pulling one out.
There you go.
How many you have pointing back at you, Joy?
I got one. My thumb. Is the thumb a finger?
I got three coming back at me.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, that's more than one, though.
Now I'm confused. Geometry wasn't my strong suit.
Depends how you pull your... I can't get my thumb to point back at me.
This guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. This guy. But I'm not pointing out, then.
We're going to react to some videos.
Yeah, we are here to bridge the gap. The divide is something that is increasing, and these two, been married before, so they're going to be able to really give the advice on marriage and what that's really like. I am in a long-term committed relationship, but I am not married, and I have no kids, so I can't give any advice on that topic.
He will be married soon.
Hopefully we'll be married soon. We'll be married 100%. We'll have kids. That's my 5 to 10 year, definitely not 10 year. Goodness.
It's a goal setter.
Kids, yeah, 5 years.
Goal setter.
Yeah, I'm going to be 25 at the end of the month. So, yeah, by 28, 30, I'd like my...
And Brandon's going to be...
Hey.
He's taking a shot with the haircut.
He's going to be 34.
34.
Oh, I like that. Younger person.
Well, yeah, let's get into it, guys.
Yeah, so
what do we...
Let's see what people are going through and why there's such a hatred.
Yeah.
I
think it has something to do with like red pill, blue pill.
So we got like red pillars, which are the men that essentially are angry at women or believe this narrative that, it's been a long time since, because I used to be one of these guys, when you get hurt and stuff like that and you start believing the narrative, basically what happens is they're either hurt by one woman or maybe a couple women, and they start to believe this pattern that all women are a certain way, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. And then there's the opposite end where there are women that are, they're like, we call them like hardcore feminists, right? Yeah. Where they don't need a man, they don't want a man. All of this stems from some sort of pain.
It is.
Right? And
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like pain from back. It could even start from childhood. It could even start from their past relationships. You don't know. It's a spiritual thing. It could be anything. But let's take a look at some of the videos and see
I don't know how to work a computer. I'm terrible at technology, so you're the other.
You're good. So what?
We got like 4 videos that we put on the notes.
Which one you want to?
Let's head back to notes. Let's go to that second one there.
Pick and choose.
Choose this one.
Nice camera action.
And by the way, we listen. We don't judge. We're just listening. We don't judge. We just want to just kind of
2 ears and 1 mouth.
Exactly.
I got 1 ear, 1 mouth.
In the name of Jesus.
You show them what bothers you. When they act up, when they mess up, you respond by taking something away, by being withdrawn, by not speaking to them, by walking away in another room. You don't need to tell them nothing. You need to take action, because talk is what? Cheap.
How many of you guys have kids? I have 3. So
I have 3.
I have 2 cats.
Well, they could be kids too. So when you have kids and you take stuff away without communicating to them a problem, how do you feel when somebody has an issue with you and they'll tell you why they did it? What if I come up there and smack you upside the head? How would you feel?
The first one to say,
I'd probably be knocked out. How big are your arms, dude? I'd be asleep.
I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I hate it, bro. Like, tell me what's going on. Man, I could go on for days with this specific area.
Yeah, so you want to take stuff from me? Shane, how do you feel when somebody takes something from you without telling you?
not too good.
What does it make you feel warm and fuzzy inside?
No, actually, you know what? I went in my closet today because I'm redoing my closet, and my Harry Potter workout gear is just gone. I was really upset about it. Somebody took it.
No.
I stole it. Don't tell him.
My precious. My precious.
I know John didn't steal it. He wouldn't wear Harry Potter workout gear.
I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Alakazam.
So if it fit you?
Yeah, there's no way it fit you like 3 times my
I
size.
stretched it out.
Yeah, so it look like capris on you?
Caprice.
You'd actually look if it
Jacked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Like-
what.
like-
So that's a new pre-workout.
It's the Harry Potter
It's the Harry
workout
Potter
gear.
workout gear. Oh, got it. Makes you look.
But no, let's see what. All right, so here's the deal. When you take something from her, right? Imagine like a baby, right? A baby, a 1-year-old. You all of a sudden the baby's like on a lollipop, and you snatched away. The baby's like, "Yo, why'd you snatch from me?" Just be like, "Hey, look," and talk. I think for me personally, just communicate. That's all. Communicate.
So, what do you feel? Let me ask you this, and I just want to get your guys' opinion. What's the biggest part of communication? If I don't understand you, can I communicate with you properly?
That's the big key. You have to understand. So if you're not understanding, find a way. Like let's readjust. Maybe I can say it differently. What part do you want me to read? You know what I'm saying?
There
Like,
was
get
a book I
clarification.
read where it was like, seek to understand before being understood.
One of the
And
7 habits of the
you know,
highly effective people. By the way, you could actually click the link below.
yeah,
Link this.
that was so you knew it instantly.
Yeah.
I forget. Okay, yeah, it's just
Downloading. Hey, I got nothing on me.
yeah, and obviously, you know, even just being in a relationship, I'm almost at the 3-year mark,
Ooh,
right?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we're getting up there, you know. But after you get past like month 3 or 4 in a relationship, you know, when the honeymoon phase starts to end or whatever, and you know you start to bicker, you start to understand that communication is going to be the driving factor when you go forward or not. And you know, in a relationship, right? With a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or even if you want to just take the stats out of it, like with a mother, a father, a friend, a cousin, or whatever, a colleague, a coworker, the relationship is the strongest the communication. You know, even with us, you know, our relationship, you know, we're texting in our group chats all day. You know, our relationships are only as strong as our communication. You know, so say
Some of us don't text back, but anyway.
That's a good point. Like if one of us say is not responding because we're something, how is the business supposed to grow, right? Or how are we supposed to get stronger in our faith if we're not relying on each other and falling on each other? Yeah. But it's the same thing in like a relationship. And so, not to dunk on this woman or anything like that, right? But if you start just even not communicating, like, I don't know, good things, you know, how are you supposed to know what's going on?
Well, you know, one of the most beautiful thing about communication is when understanding is achieved, because what the word says, the Bible says that a woman wants love, needs love, and a man needs respect. Now, you can say the word respect and love are interchangeable, but when a woman gives a man the respect that he so desires, the man has a tendency to do like the hands connecting and give her the love she needs if he understands where she's coming from. There can also be a correlation that they unequally yoke, meaning that they're not supposed to be together. What happens with oil and water? Do they mix?
Oh my gosh, you just hit it on the spot, wouldn't it? So it sounds like to me, part of the issue is that they might not be equally yoked. And part of it might be because if your mind's not right, your spirit's not right, ain't nothing right. So that means you gotta get right with Christ. You feel me?
Well.
And so I guess that leads me into a question for you two, where 2 questions where you guys can answer. And some of the ladies might be watching this, wondering, well, how do I make a man feel respected, right, in a relationship? And then I guess another question is, because you guys have done this before, is what does putting Christ at the center of our relationship to ensure our success look like? Because it's one thing to say, hey, we have to do this, but have you ever been told something like, I don't know, or I'll never forget, like I was in a cage fight, right? Like when I was doing MMA.
cage fight?
Yeah, it's a cage fight. And my son says like, Shane, call her elbow time, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Okay, great, but what does that mean? Boom, right?
Talk to my better.
What does that mean, right? So what is
Yeah.
a man being respected look like with some examples, and what is putting Jesus Christ, God, at the center of a relationship?
One thing I look at it is like this. God made the woman the lesser vessel. Doesn't mean she don't have power, but if you look at it strength-wise, typically men are more stronger physically than a woman. So a man's strength is his physical, attributes.
Not you, Ronda Rousey, please don't hurt us.
Yeah. A woman's strength, and a lot of men can confirm this, and women can too, is in her mouth. A woman's words are powerful. The word even says, death and life lies in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat the fruit thereof. Yeah. So even though a woman may not be physically stronger than you, she will overpower you by the words she says to you.
Yep.
And, you can talk a man down. A man loves to be respected when he hears a woman of keeping him, because think about it. You go throughout your day, people are beating you down at work and through life. You want to come home to peace.
Yeah.
And that's the respect men want. A woman, she wants to show love. So a man that she says something to him, a woman is not nagging you. She's just trying to tell you what her heart feels towards you. Yeah. And when you hear her heart speaking through her words of what she's saying to you, before all that negativity comes, then you can show the love that she truly needs. Because what if you get your woman flowers and she likes roses and she likes tulips?
So it sounds like you gotta, first of all, know which kind of roses or flowers she likes, but also you need to learn her love language. What if she don't even want flowers to begin with? What if her love language is simply like, hey, I just need you to help me out around the house?
Acts of service. Yeah.
Acts of service.
That's a good book to read.
5 love languages is right down below. You can go ahead and read it. It's a game changer. My wife and I, we went through it together just to make sure we knew, what we like for loving.
Let me ask you this though, and same with your girlfriend. What if your wife does not want you to solve a problem, but just listen to it?
That's something I think that every,
Put my listening ears on.
Yeah. It's easy because
I got 2 ears. 1 mouth. Which one did I use the most? It's supposed to be the greater one, the ears. Do we listen to understand or listen to reply?
I'm guilty of the latter. And here's how I get better.
Bad you.
Yeah, I know. Because every time, I'll give you an example. You guys ever get the, oh man, I'm not happy with my body, I want to be in shape speech. And especially when you're huge in the gym, our first option is well, here's what you got to do. And I think I learned about, and by the way, my girlfriend is gorgeous. I mean, I'm in love with this woman.
I heard she's perfect for you, by the way. That's what I heard.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She's drop dead gorgeous. She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So she can't get more beautiful to me, and if she does, I'm in trouble. Because I won't think about anything else.
Then she angelic.
Yeah. Then I'm just gonna start hey, I'm doing work. Oh crap. So
Woody Woodpecker.
Exactly. But I learned about the 4th or 5th time this conversation came up, where instead of just saying you're beautiful, please don't do this to yourself, or okay, well if you really want to get better, I love that. I learned just to say, I'm like, well, you know what? Tell me what's going on, and I just would bury my screaming to exercise science and everything away, and I would just say, okay, why do you feel that way? That's interesting. I'm sorry. I think you're amazing. Keep going, right? And just, and something happened. Something magical happened. Something wonderful happened.
Yeah.
She was ready to make the change. I don't know. I didn't do anything. After all the time
she was ready to make the change, just like we're going to change to the next
Absolutely, yeah. To the
video,
next,
so that way we can look into it real quick. And then here we go.
Lights, camera, action.
This was not recorded.
Sexual alphas don't need commitment. If you need commitment, if you need love, if you need intimacy, these are beta male traits. The only exception that I can possibly see this for is a man who is probably a little bit older, or you've had a lot of experience with women, and you're looking to maybe one day have legacy or one day have family. Okay, these are but even then, you're still going to have to understand the frame control that it takes to run a relationship in a masculine to feminine dynamic.
Don't need commitment.
Don't need commitment.
Well, let me
Don't need love.
Let me just ask a question about a commitment. When has you ever taken like a job or a contract without signing?
I don't think there ever was, honestly.
There's some kind of commitment, right?
Yeah.
If you sign your name on anything, that is called a
great contract.
Commitment. Yes. Woo! We did it. Okay.
We won the Super Bowl.
And some people used to sign the contracts with blood. So we don't have to do all that,
A
but
blood
dang.
covenant.
You guys watch Daredevil, Born Again?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a killer. He he paints with people's blood. Scary stuff. Yeah.
So you're not painting with blood, are you?
No, I'm not painting with
Okay,
blood. I
good,
have
good,
nightmares about a guy painting with blood.
Okay. I didn't know you dipping in shame.
Well, you had a nightmare about.
Yeah, because I was watching the episode and
You gotta
serial
stop
killer?
watching
that episode.
You know
You
what?
have
You know
a
what? You
nightmare
stop falling asleep while you're watching it.
Yeah.
No, it was
That
like
was in your
hours later.
subconscious.
I swear, it was like hours later. Yeah, but it wasn't my subconscious. It was weird. Yeah.
But no, back to the thing.
Back to it, yeah.
So my opinion about this, alpha, beta. I mean, I was in that phase too. But at the end of the day, bro, what matters most is like, what are you? You have to have a commitment, even if you're in a regular relationship. You got to be committed.
Yeah, so I actually used to watch this guy a lot, funny enough. I recognize him because I used to, back when before I met my girlfriend, obviously. So I've been cheated on by a previous relationship.
Disclaimer: I've been cheated on too.
I think we all have.
Yeah.
Either cheated on or cheated. Yeah.
Cheated on, piss off.
Jump on, jump off.
Like a light switch.
And I used to absorb this type of content thinking it would fix a broken part of me, and that, and it didn't. And I understand. I was speaking to the men now, where I understand this type of, especially the young guys out there who see that, divorce rates are this, or I've been hurt by this. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to put myself in a position for that?
It's fear. Yeah,
And,
they see it, they're afraid.
I empathize with that,
too.
and I understand that, but you can only run from the truth. The start of this video, he said, men don't need love, men don't need commitment. That is false.
Yeah.
I tried to hide from this, and I understand men are more purpose-driven in life. We like to conquer the world. But what king have you ever met that did not have a queen?
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Even in chess.
Wow,
Even in chess.
that is good.
The queen protects the king.
It's true. That's
Yeah.
the purpose. That's the
And,
purpose. The last one standing.
it is, man, I'm not married, but it is much easier for me to put my head on the pillow after a hard day at work, after getting off the phone with it's okay, you got this. There was times where I've been alone on my mission, and there's times where I've been in a relationship with a girl who believes in me on my mission. And the latter is significantly easier.
Have you noticed some of the most successful people in the world? Your big shots, I ain't gonna call no names, but they always have a woman nearby them. They always have a support. Sometimes a man's biggest fan is his woman. Now, if your woman is not supporting you like that, you may want to read them red flags that's in the room. But
Yeah, because there's a lot of them that presents themselves too.
But you know what you do? The Bible says test every spirit to make sure that it's of God's spirit.
Yeah.
What a person, when you test them to see if they'll show love to you, you read the things. People will always show you what they believe.
Yeah.
They will live out what they believe. I don't believe what you say, I believe what you do. So that goes with men and women too. So a lot of men get hurt because we always Mr. Fix It. We're going to make her life better. But if she's not giving and only taking, and vice versa too, if it's only just giving and taking, every day it's not going to be 50-50. But it has to average out to be equal along the way.
How does this happen? How do we get men that feel this way? how do we get men that feel that way, where they don't, where you're labeled a beta male if you're not going to, how do we get to a place where either men are needy instead of coming at commitment from a place of power, right? From a place of, I want to take care of you, I want to, thrive with you. How do we get here? And more importantly, how do we fix the problem here of men feeling this way?
I don't think it's like a quick fix. I think what it is, it's a heart thing first. Like, what's in the heart? Who do you surround yourself with? We actually had an episode, by the way. If you haven't watched it, being plugged in. And by the way, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now, because the algorithm and just there's some content that we have that we really believe it. Our mission. This is a ministry. We're looking to reach our world with life, right? And so if you surround yourself with people that are like-minded but also Christ-minded, then the rest is history. So you got to start reading your word and making sure you're equally yoked. So if your spouse, your girlfriend, your significant other isn't on that same path, then that's when you got to say, you know what? Check the red flags, like Brandon said.
John, should we tell them more about equally yoked? You think we should expand on that a little bit?
We should expand on that.
Basically, equally yoked is not saying you have do everything the exact same way. They're a carbon copy of you. Thank God there's not another me.
And thank God there's not another me.
Thank God, oh my God.
But the thing about it is, there is a structure, a foundation that both you guys can resonate to when there's kind of anger, confusion, and frustration that sets in. So the thing about it being grounded and rooted in Christ Jesus is that even though I might get frustrated, even though she might get irritated, we can all come down to where it says in the word says we won't go to bed mad and angry with each other. So we'll do whatever we do as conflict resolution to say, honey, what is wrong with you? Or sweetheart, what's wrong with you? Help me understand what you're going through. And that takes a lot of energy.
It does. It takes a lot of energy.
I kill pride, and I gotta care about somebody else. But yeah, that's what happens when you're in a relationship. A relationship either makes you bitter or better. The choice is like a coin. You flip it, it lands. Which one do you want? I love better. I don't like that bitter. Do you?
Yeah, no, I do too. And I think what it is too, that's a good point that you made. I think what it is too is that you have this, what you're watching right now. Like, let's just be honest, like, at the end of the day, like you mentioned earlier, test every spirit. So even if you hear what we're talking right now and you don't agree with it, bring it up to God. Get it to his courthouse, get it to his presence and pray about it. And say, God, is this the woman that you want? And it's not my advice to you, but just in reality, like wherever you're at, how I would approach it is like, if I'm not sure what relationship I'm in, I'm gonna bring it to God. And that's the problem. No one's doing that. We're just hopping in. Oh, she look good. Oh man, she's gonna let me tap. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's all we doing. That's what we're about, right? And you catch a vibe, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're hanging out one night, 2 nights. I'll be honest. Let me tell you a quick story. The reason why I had one of my past relationships, I'm not gonna name any names, but it started all because it was a little fun night. I was supposed to be the wingman, and she ended up getting attached to me.
Oh no!
Right? So much so that one night turned into 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, a whole week, and she's skipping work, and then. A whole few lives later, and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, be careful what you're doing. Make sure you're not only just attracted by love only, but just make sure God approves it first, and make sure this is the person for you.
Oh,
see what I'm saying?
You know what? It brings something to mind. Be careful what you spend your time in with, too, because you have to realize everybody's carrying baggage like TSA. They got carrying too much through there. Don't go through there. But you have baggage, they have baggage. You have to make sure that you can handle their baggage too.
Yeah.
We always talk about, we look at ourselves in the mirror and we say, what does it say? Don't talk about a speck in somebody else's eye when you got a log in yours.
Exactly. So even though I might got baggage and the person might got baggage too, and then we're not even looking at the fruits. We're not even looking at the roots. If you look at the roots, then you can see what the fruit is.
There you go.
Makes sense. Look at the roots.
Yeah. Because we don't even be treating symptoms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are all symptoms. All that's the surface level stuff.
Yeah, and humans aren't going to be perfect. We live in this perfectalized society where you can swipe right. Like
New word added to the dictionary.
Perfectalized. That's not a word, but you guys know what I'm saying. You can just swipe right on everything. don't stop swiping right. The grass isn't greener. It's about connection. I'm not perfect. I mess up every day.
You too?
Sometimes multiple times a day. Wow. Actually, most days, multiple times a day. And
Me too.
we all do. And so understand that your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, it's not going to be this perfect fantasy every step of the way that you go. There's going to be fights. There's going to be arguments. There's going to be days where it sucks. But, I mean, at least I learned from my parents who've been married 30 plus years now.
Nice.
You know, they've been at each other's throats multiple times, not physically, you know. But,
Good job. Yeah.
But they've had, you know, a few divorce-worthy arguments and made it to a point now where they're at the strongest point they've ever been. And their last kid, my younger brother, is getting ready to leave the house. And they are left with a foundation of wonderful love with all of these goals to do together. And that's a beautiful thing. But it didn't come through the flowery, beautiful, happy feel that came through like the volcano. Fire and pain and suffering. And, you know, I watched that as a kid. You know, I watched them go through hell and back and still make it. And so I have a couple great role models of what it's like to be a team. And so I'm trying to emulate that and trying to start in building my team, because one day I'm going to have kids. And, you know, I want to make sure that, I heard you're never ready, but to some degree that I'm
Crash course.
And when he has one of his kids, would it be little Hoffmans or little Hoff boys?
Yeah, little Hoffmans.
The Hoffmans. Okay. All right. Just making sure. I just want to clarify.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping, you know, for a son.
Hey, you have not because you ask not. So, hey, ask the Lord.
Ask the Lord.
He has a way of making things happen. But, you know, you said a beautiful thing I want to, swing back to is that you have an example. What happens is sometimes you don't have an example. Like, you know, your parents maybe not have been married a long time. My parents were married, 48, 49 years, you know. But the thing about it is that you need something to base off of. You need an example. They always say, what is it? You show me the 3 or 4 people closest to you and I'll show you your future. If you get examples find people who have something that you want. And most people love talking about is themselves. So if you go to people that you see having a happy relationship, they look older, ask them what did they do? What did they go through? What made them get to the point that they're at? I'm pretty sure it wasn't about the me, myself, and I thing. They had to learn how to sacrifice. The biggest community is when one submits themselves to unity. And when you submit the self to unity like my hands are doing, there's a connection. And when I hold my hands stronger, it's harder to break them apart than if they just connected like this. God wants us to be truly connected. And the reason why we don't want to really get connected is because of hurt, harm, and pain that's happened in the past. Healing has to happen. The baggage has to be healed from. For not just you, but the one you're in partnership with too, so that you won't be toxic. I'm gonna do like Shane crazy.
We're creating new words.
Hey, what's they gonna call us?
Toxicity is a real word. Or is that just a Pokemon?
No toxicity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, toxicity gonna happen, but
Toxtricity, that's a Pokemon.
Toxicity, new one. But you don't want to be toxic. You want to be flourish. You know, you don't want to just survive. You want to thrive. And to thrive is to have the understanding, the communication about the good, bad, and ugly. We always want to put our best foot forward. But when we put all that forward, then we can give room for growth and understanding to occur too.
Yep. And speaking on the growth, we're going to keep growing. And guys, if you want to learn more, we actually are going to go ahead and put a PDF together. A simple step. Now, listen, I'll be honest with you. It's just a guideline based on our personal experience. You could use it as a reference. We're out here just trying to help the community. But let's take a look at the next video and see what we got.
I forgot my glasses, John. Let me know if I'm going the right place.
Yeah, right here, bub.
We're here?
Yeah, right there, bub.
What do I do?
Now, which video you want to watch?
Oh, we're going to the link. So the notes, I think we click on
There you go. So I think we looked at that one already.
We did?
Yeah.
Let's see.
We didn't. We didn't. That's the same lady, though.
Here, let's
So
see.
yes, whenever you
So I
leave
don't
your
know if you
house,
wanna see
if you're married or if you live with a man,
to look good. Don't even run an errand looking like trash. Don't, because if they don't care how you look when you leave the house, if they're not worried about you, even if you're just going to run an errand, you're doing it wrong. Okay?
All right, so I'll be the first to say my personal opinion. I don't disagree. I don't think it's more so like a statement like, oh, like I don't disagree with it only because it's like the advice that she's giving, I feel like it shouldn't really be advice. I feel like it should more so come, in my opinion, approach should be like, hey, you know, if you love yourself, I think wouldn't it be necessary for you to, like, you know, look good when you come out of the house? I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. I don't think it's like a bad thing. Per se.
I don't really disagree with it or agree with it. I think it's just each his own. I actually
to each his own kind of thing, right? Like,
I don't think that it's a bad thing to want to look good for
don't either.
your partner.
I think some people look at it like I'm a representation of my man, so I better look good all the time.
Yes.
I'm not looking for my woman to come out of the bed looking like she's got her makeup done all the time. You know, I tell women to be themselves, you know, especially me having 2 daughters. You know, I don't want them to think that they have to be fly all the time and hair done and makeup on, you know, on straight 1000. I mean,
but I think we're, and this is just me assuming. I'm just gonna keep it real. I from what I hear is like, she's like, hey ladies, make sure you coming on point when you come outside, because let him know that you ain't playing, that you could easily get snatched. And I think that's kind of where the angle's coming from. I don't know that, but if she is saying that, it sounds like might be some like past experience is why she's saying that. Because think about it, like there's a point in my life where I was in the mindset like, yo, I never know. I step out. There's so many opportunities as far as not just like awesome, like whatever, but like opportunities, like business opportunities. Like someone, you know, they always say like my dad, for example. I'll give you a quick example. My dad, when I traveled with him to Haiti, he was like, he seen me in my joggers going on the flight, and he's like, John, why are you dressed like that? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're supposed to dress like in a suit. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Let me just go to the airport. I'm trying to be cozy.
Yeah.
So I guess what she's trying to say is like, nah, you got to look on point. Let them know you ain't playing games. Again, it kind of almost feels like a, hey, let them know that you're not playing games. Step outside, making sure you're fly. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's easy to overlook what she's saying, but it's also easy to underlook what she's saying, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to dress up, especially if you're going out. Girls like to get all dolled up or whatever. That's their thing. Yeah. Me, I mean, the gym is where I get dolled up, so I throw on a t-shirt, some jeans, and some boots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the gym's right. That's my makeup, man. It just took 6 years to build, you know? That's my makeup. It just took me 6 years to put it on, you know?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad you put it on then.
Yeah, put it on. But, you know, t-shirt or sleeveless hoodie.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of sleeveless hoodies, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and click the link below.
There you go.
We got some God and Gains merch. As you can see, these young gentlemen rocking this. We got the green right here with the black letters. We got the red right here with the white letters.
Yeah, even the hoodie comes off too.
Yeah, it does come off. We got this is phase 1 gear. Yeah. Stay tuned for phase 2. But seriously, these are some of not only the most comfortable, but just flexing your faith.
Yeah. You can do
it. People know what you're about.
2 for 1. Flex your faith and flex your muscles too.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at that. My license crapping. It was arm day. I'm kidding. Give me a second. Wake up! Wake up! As we continue, as I stretch my arm. So nothing wrong with wanting to look good when you go out. However, I just want ladies to understand, from a men's expectation point of view, just understand men don't expect that of you. I feel like a lot of women think that, oh, you know, I have to look like this or look like that. At some point in a relationship, your makeup's going to come off anyway, right? Yeah. And you're going to see each other completely for each other at some point without makeup. You know, maybe the lighting's not on your abs is best at some point, right? You're going to see each other not perfect physically and not physically always at some point, right? So, that's just that, you know. But
Next.
yeah,
You wanna
next,
get-
yeah. There's really not much to say else about that one. I think we're on the last one now. Yeah, last link. Okay.
I think that's the one we seen last though. That's
Is
the
it?
guy.
Let's see here. No, we clicked the second link. I think this is different. Yeah, this is different.
Sexual alphas don't
Okay.
need
That's
commitment.
the guy.
Okay. Yeah, you're 100% right. I think it was
2.
link 2. Did I just accidentally use the same video twice?
It's okay. We got an editor.
Well, that concludes.
Wait. No, I was wrong. Oh, no, this is... Okay, yeah. So that was it. We just used the same video. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So that was all the videos that we got for you today. We're going to try to make this into a series where every, maybe other week or so, because we got other topics we got to cover, but every other week or so we try to bridge the gap between men and women again. And
talking about love and marriage goes together.
This I tell you, brother.
Any of you guys remember that, or am I too old?
No, we remember that.
We remember that. You, I don't know.
It's okay. He's gonna be going to YouTube tonight.
YouTube University.
Married with children.
tonight, man, it's protein donut and bed.
Wow.
Wow, that couldn't have came out, especially with the context of off camera, that couldn't have came out any weirder. You had to have been there.
Protein in bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's eating, you know what I mean.
So did the cats be under the cover when you had them protein blowouts?
So my cats are actually very affectionate. So when they're in the room, it's like they're not in there and they're trying to cuddle me. So especially my big orange guy, orange and white guy, he's like a dog. He jumps on the bed, he comes to you when you call his name, and he wraps his paws around and he nudges me with his head, and then he just lays. Yeah, I can, today I was trying to get some stuff done and get up, and he just
So is that because you give him that pre-workout?
No, it's just I guess he just loves me. I guess because I give him food.
True.
Wait, what did he do? What was that gesture you did? You try to get up and he just
He's just laying there. He's just laying on my chest.
What was he doing to
He
you?
wraps his paws around,
It's meow.
and then he hugs.
So in other words, he strapped you down.
He strapped me down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said,
That
his
being
cat
said,
straps
my
him
cat
down.
straps me down. Same thing with his little brother, the black and white one.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
They tag team. Off the top rope. Boom.
Elbow drop. Count it. 1, 2. Look at our new champion. I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Speaking of wrestling, but that's a whole nother topic. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it all because, listen, at the end of the day, this is more than just a YouTube channel. This is a ministry. This is just a couple of young men out here trying to reach a large amount of men to lead them to Christ, right? Through faith and fitness.
Absolutely. So thank you. We hope we can kind of bridge the gap in the coming episodes with these. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode, and we will see you all in the next one. I don't know why I did the clap.
Oh, I like that. That was
Clap on.
Like to turn things on and off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off, the clapper.
The clapper is